Welcome to Big Mama's House, y'all, where this is Papa's Edition, Papa's Ranting Uncensored Sports Edition. We're going to have one episode a week on different topics. This week it's going to be Father's Day and also some sports. I want to talk about some baseball and some football. Before I get started, though, I just want to wish everybody, all the fathers out there, happy belated Father's Day. All the single moms also, and grandparents who are raising their kids. I just want to wish everybody happy belated Father's Day, especially to my dad, who without my dad, I wouldn't be who I am today. So, happy Father's Day, Dad. And with that being said, fathers love baseball, so we're just going to get right into the baseball stats and my predictions and my opinions. First, these are actually from this afternoon, so these are updated as of now. But I do believe a couple games... they were this afternoon, and there's a bunch of teams not playing today. This is Monday, June 19th, and also happy Juneteenth, everybody out there also. Hope you're enjoying your day on Juneteenth. I'm going to start with the American League East in baseball. The East has the Rays in first place at 51-24. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not sure how they're so good. To me, I think they're a good team, but I don't think they're going to win the division. They're at 51-24. Their last 10 are 5-5 the last 10, but they got a good 5-game lead in that division. So they're going to be first place for a while, and as long as everybody behind them keeps losing. But again, I don't expect the Rays to win the division. We'll get with that here in just a second. The Orioles are second. They're at 44-27 with 5 games back. Their last 10 are 7-3, so they actually made up 2 games on the Rays. But again, Baltimore, I'm not sure how they're so good either. They got a lot of young players. Maybe they're a lot of good young players. But right now they're second in the East, and they're one of my surprise teams for the first half of the season so far. I got the Yankees. The Yankees are in third place. They're at 39-33. They're 10.5 back. Their last 10, they're 3-7, so they've lost 2 games in the standings. I'm still picking the Yankees to win a division, even though they're 10.5 back now. It's only June. You still got over half the season to go. But I expect the Yankees to get hot and actually win that division. I got the Blue Jays are fourth, 39-34. They're one of my more disappointing teams. They're 11 games back. They're 4-6 last 10. But I don't see them doing anything. Maybe the wild card, maybe. But they're a really disappointing team. I got the Red Sox. The Red Sox are last, actually, at 37-35, which means this is the best division in baseball right now. Every team is over 500. But, the Red Sox are 12.5 back, and their last 10 were 6-4. I don't think the Red Sox can do anything. Like I said, I'm going to have the Yankees win that division. And maybe the Rays take the wild card. One of the teams in the wild card. Actually, right now, I am going to say the Rays is going to take one of the wild card spots. I have the Central. The Twins are actually first place right now at 36-36. Now, both Central in both conferences, the Central Division, are the weakest division in baseball. And I don't know how you can be 36-36 and be in first place by 2.5 games. I have no idea. But again, the Twins, they have a few good players. They're actually kind of disappointing so far. 36-36, even though they're first place, they're still a little bit disappointing. The Guardians are second at 33-38, 2.5 back. Both are 5-5 in the last 10. But again, I don't know how you can only be 2.5 back, being 33-38 and second in that division. The Tigers are at 30-40, and again, another team I guess you could say is disappointing. They should be a little better than this, but they're 5 back and 4-6 last 10. This division is up in the air for anybody but the Royals. The White Sox are 31-42, 5.5 back, 3-7 last 10. White Sox again. This division is up for grabs. Any team, Guardians, Tigers, White Sox get hot. Twins don't get hot. The thing is, right now, the Twins are 5-5. They're not hot. But either are the Guardians, the Tigers, or the White Sox. They're 5-5, 4-6, 3-7. So they're not gaining any ground at all. But in that division, still going to pick the Twins to win that division. Nobody else is coming out of that division in the playoffs. The West is kind of surprising in the American League. The Rangers are at 90. They're at 44 and 27. Okay, their last 10 are 4 and 6, but they're at 44 and 27. I couldn't read my writing there for a second, but they're actually surprising because I didn't think they'd be that good. The Angels are another team, 41 and 33, 4.5 back, 7 and 3 the last 10. They got about 3 games in the standings to catching up to the Rangers. They were a surprising team, but I'm still picking the Astros. They're third place at 39-33, 5.5 back. I'm going to pick the Astros to win that division, and the Rangers will get the wild card. But the Astros, again, are 3 and 7 last 10. They're not making up any ground. They still even lost a game, even though the Rangers are 4 and 6 the last 10. They still lost a game. The Mariners are 35 and 35, 8.5 back. They're 5 and 5 the last 10. The Mariners are a sneaky good team. Right now they're disappointing, but I think they can get hot and maybe make a run. But when it's all said and done, I believe the West will be won by the Astros. And then the wild card, I have the Orioles making it. I have, of course, the Angels, and then I have the Rangers. They're going to make the wild card. And we'll see. We'll go from there. That's the American League. Again, without going back to the Yankees in the East, I'm picking them. But when Aaron Judge is not playing, they're not playing very good. I mean, Aaron Judge is that team. So they don't have any pitching. Aaron Judge is the offense. And without him, they're not doing anything. So hopefully Aaron Judge comes back and plays lights out. So my prediction can come true by the end of the season. Now we're going to the National League. The Braves are actually first place in the East. We're going to the East. And they're actually 46 and 26. They're a good team. Their last 10 are 8 and 2. Last 10. The Marlins are second at 41 and 31. That's a surprising team, actually. I was surprised that they're that good, but they're 5 games back. Last 10, 7 to 3. They've actually lost a game in the standings, even though they're 7 to 3 in the last 10. The Phillies, my team, 38-34, 8 games back. Last 10 are 8 and 2. They haven't made up any ground at all in the Braves because the Braves are also 8 and 2 in the last 10. They play each other this week, starting tomorrow. So hopefully in Philly. So hopefully the Phillies can do some damage there and make up some ground. Now the Mets are actually a disappointing Met team this year so far, 33 and 38, 12.5 back. I can't really say anything because they always have my Phillies number. They play them at the end of the week and the weekend. But right now their last 10 are 3 and 7. And then the Nats are coming up last, which is to be expected. They're 27-43. They lost to the Cardinals today. That's one of the games. They're actually 27-44 actually right now. They're 18 games back. I believe they're going to be sellers at the deadline. They're going to sell maybe a couple of their players, like their first baseman, Dominic Smith, most likely will go. Maybe a pitcher or two. I wouldn't mind having a couple of the relievers in Philly. But as far as right now, I think every team except the Nats are going to be buyers in that division, even though the Mets are really disappointing. I still see them being buyers and sellers. They're probably going to sell some of the big contracts and probably trade them for a couple of smaller contracts that would help them compete in the second half. But I don't see them doing anything in the second half after the All-Star break. I say the Braves are still going to win this division. The Marlins are going to make the wild card, and so are the Phillies. They're going to make the wild card also. But the Braves, Marlins, and Phillies will be buyers at the deadline, and it's going to be interesting at the trade deadline to see what each team does. In the Central Division, again, another weak division, National League Central. The Brewers are 37-34, leading the division. They're 4 and 6 the last 10. I'm still going out on a limb. I'm still going to say the Cardinals are going to win this division. But right now, it's not looking good. But did they get the 30th win today? But I still say the Cardinals are going to win that division. But they're actually depends on what they're going to do. If they're going to be buyers or sellers. If they're going to be sellers, I might change it down the line, my prediction. But if they're buyers, I'm still going to stick with the prediction. The Cardinals win the division. If they're sellers, I'm going to have to change that. But right now, the Reds are actually the hottest team. One of the hottest teams. They're the hottest team in the Central. They're 37-35, but they're 8-2 in the last 10. They've gained 2 games. Well, actually 4 games in the standings. Sorry. They're actually only a half game out of first in that division. So who knows? I mean, even that team with their new prospect, De La Cruz, really, really good player. Probably one of the best prospects this year. If he gets enough at-bats and enough playing time, he might even win Rookie of the Year. Keep an eye on that guy. But De La Cruz and the Reds are streaking. They're 8-2 last 10 and only a half game out of first place in the Central. Now the Pirates, they started out pretty hot. They started out on a streak, but now they've actually they're 2-8 in the last 10. But they're still only 2.5 out. 34-36 is the record. Only 2.5 out of that division. The Cubs are 33-38, 4 back, 7-3 in the last 10. So they're making a little push on it. They've gained 3 games on the Brewers, but they're still 4 back, and there's still some time to go. But I don't see either one of those two teams, Pirates or Cubs, doing anything. The Cardinals are 30-43. They're 8 back. Right now, they are still 4-6 in the last 10. But like I said, I am still calling for the Cards to win that division. If something happens, they become sellers again, I will change my prediction, because if they're going to sell Goldschmidt and or Arenado and some pitching, that team ain't going to be worth anything come the second half. Now, the West is the D-backs. They're leading the West, the National League West, at 43-29. The last 10 are 6-4, so they're struggling a little bit. They lost 3 of 4 to my Phillies, so that didn't help them at all. But right now they're still first place. The Giants are second at 39-32, 3.5 back. They're 8-2 in the last 10 games. But again, they're streaking. Anything can happen within the rest of the season. But I don't see these Giants going anywhere. I see the Dodgers actually making a wild card, but they're 39-33, 4 back. And I still see the Padres winning that division, 35-36, 7.5 back. But they have way better players than basically any team in that division. Yeah, you got Juan Soto, you got Machado, you got a good pitching staff. They're really underperforming. They're really disappointing. They're kind of like my Phillies, but the Phillies are picking up. Where the Padres they're picking up right now too at 7-3. So, I mean, if you're a struggling team right now, would be the best time to pick it up. June is actually the time to start making your run, because right around the corner is a trade deadline, and if you're not going to make a run, if you're losing going into the trade deadline, say your last 10's 1-9, 2-8, 3-7, you should sell. You should sell and play for next year, play for the future. But if you're streaking, if you're 8-2, 9-1, 10-0 last 10, or say you won 18-20 in the last 20 games, you need to buy. Even if you're the Pirates and you won 18-20 games by the trade deadline, you need to buy, because especially in that division, the National League Central is wide open. There is not a good team in that division. There is not a team in that division, the National League Central, that would scare me if I was anybody else in the East or the West. The Rockies are last place in the West at 29-45. Again, they're 15 back, 3-7. They're most likely going to sell. They're not doing. They're actually right where everybody expects them to be. I never expected anything from them. I mean, they can be a scary team when you're playing them, but I don't predict them. I predict them being sellers come the trade deadline and trading Crone and a couple other, or maybe even McMahon, third baseman, trading those guys. The wild card I predict is going to be Miami, one, Phillies, another one, and possibly, I don't know, maybe the Reds. I don't know. Maybe the Mets. Maybe I doubt the Mets, but maybe the Reds. I'm going to call Marlins, Phillies, Reds in the wild card. So that is your update for baseball. All you baseball fans out there, I'm going to be doing this at least once a week. We're going to have updated standings, updated opinions. Whether you like the opinions or not. You can always comment, and let me know what you think about them, because I always welcome a little debate when it comes to sports. But again, the Braves are the best team, in my opinion, in the National League. But we know how they like to choke at the end of the year. So, I mean, the Phillies are the National League champions. You have to beat the team to be the team, and right now, the Braves are the team, but they have to beat the team, and they haven't. The first series they split 2-2 out of a 4-game series. They split it, but they play them this week for 3 games at Philly. So let's see how that goes. All right. But right now, for baseball news, I'm going to put that on hold for a week, and I'm going to go to the way too early predictions of the NFL season. These are my predictions. Who I'm going to predict is going to win the division, go to the playoffs, make the playoffs. I'm not going to predict anything about as far as who's going to win and win it all. That'll be later down the road. But training camp opens here in about a month for all these teams. It's like the middle to end of July. Training camp starts. So right now we should be getting I guess some sort of inkling of what each team is going to be like. So, but right now I have the AFC East. The Bills, I have them winning the division. They're going to be 13-4, and there's really nothing weak about the Bills, in my opinion. They have they need to strengthen up the defense, but that's about it. As far as the secondary, they need to straighten that up. But the quarterback play, Allen, he's got to protect the ball. That's all there is to it. He protects the ball, and they play defense. I think that division is going to be the Bills, and that's my way too early prediction for that division. The Jets, I believe, are going to finish 12-5, even with Aaron Rodgers. This will be their one good year with him. They'll be 12-5, and I see the Pats actually having a 500 record at 9-8, and then the Dolphins, Tua's going to get hurt early in the season. He should be playing anyway because of his concussions. So they're going to finish 8-9 in that division. They ain't going anywhere. The Pats, unfortunately, for some Pats fans out there, aren't going anywhere. But I do believe the Bills and Jets will make the playoffs, with the Bills winning that division in the AFC East. Now I got the AFC North. I got the Bengals winning that division. I got the Bengals and Ravens tied, both at 12-5. The Bengals will actually win a tiebreaker over the Ravens. So they'll have one more conference win than what the Ravens will have. And that'll make the Bengals winning the North and the Ravens in the wild card. Steelers, I got to go in 10-7. They're going to have a good season, but not good enough to make the playoffs. And the Browns will be Browns, and they'll do Brown things, and they'll finish 8-9. Even though they'll have a decent team, they're still going to finish 8-9 because they are the Browns. I got the AFC South. I actually got the Colts winning this division at 12-5. They're going to have one of the weakest schedules, so I think that's going to help them. Plus, they're in a division that's not real good. So I got them winning it. Now, as far as moving on in the playoffs, I don't see them going past the first round, but I do see them winning the division at 12-5. The Jags I have going 10-7. Again, that's probably going to be disappointing considering they won the division last year, but that's because they were the only team with a winning record in that division, and so that really doesn't mean anything. But the Jags are 10-7, and they're just going to stop right there. They're not going to make it anywhere. I have the Titans going 9-8. Again, disappointing for the Titans. They'll be trading off their players come by the end of the year. Even maybe the middle of the season, once they're out of it, they might trade Tannehill and maybe even start their rookie quarterback. The Texans are going to finish last at 6-11 because, yes, they are the Texans. And I don't care who the quarterback is. They don't have anybody. I mean, C.J. Stroud's a quarterback, rookie. He's going to have a rough rookie season because they don't have anybody else on that team. I see the Texans finishing 6-11 in last place, and probably one of the worst records in football at 6-11. In the West, I got the Broncos winning the West. Now, this is going to be a surprise to some Chiefs fans because everybody thinks the Chiefs, just because they won a Super Bowl, they're going to win the division this year. Well, I have an upset prediction that the Broncos are going to win that division at 11-6 because the Broncos, I believe, are better than they were this year than they were last year. New coach, Russell Wilson is going to be a better quarterback. So I believe the Broncos will, both teams have 11-6 records. But Broncos will win the tiebreaker with a better conference record than the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs finishing second with 11-6 record. Again, tiebreaker goes to the Broncos. Chargers are disappointing 9-8, and Raiders are subpar 7-10. But I got the Broncos winning that division with the Chiefs going to the wild card. So in the AFC, I got the Bills winning their division. I got the Bengals winning their division. Colts winning the South, and I got the Broncos winning the West. In a wild card, I got the Jets going to the wild card, Ravens wild card, and I have the Chiefs in the wild card. And the Chiefs will have the worst record of all of them in the wild card. I predict they're going to be 11-6. And I know I'm going to get some flack for that, but you know what? That's just my predictions. It could be wrong. Now we're going to go to the NFC side of it. And I have in the East, I got the Philly going 13-4. This, of course, all these predictions are in case, injuries. Injuries can always make these predictions go south. But as long as Philly stays healthy, they're going to go 13-4. I got Dallas finishing 10-7 in that division, Giants 10-7, and then the Commanders 7-10. Philly's winning that division pretty handily by 3 games, and they're gonna sweep the NFC East. We're gonna beat all the teams twice. In the North, NFC North, I got the Lions winning that division at 12-5. Vikings are gonna come in second, 11-6. Bears at 9-8, and Pack at 9-8. So that's gonna be one of the toughest divisions in the South. In the North, because every team I predict is going to be a winning record. But the Bears will be happy at 9-8, and I believe the Packers, if they finish 9-8, they'll be happy too. Who knows? I think maybe the Packers might even finish 8-9, but they'll be in that area. In the South, the South is going to be actually the worst division in my predictions for the season. The South, I got the Saints winning 10-7. Falcons will be 8-9, Panthers 7-10, and the Buccaneers 7-10. All of them have young quarterbacks. All of them have young teams. This NFC South will be the worst division in all of football. And then in NFC West, they got the Seahawks winning the West 10-7, the Rams going 9-8, the 49ers going 9-8, and then the Cards going 6-11. I got the Seahawks winning the division, and that's the only team going to the playoffs. I got Philly winning the division. I got Dallas and the Giants actually going to the wild card. I got the Lions winning the North with the Vikings going to the wild card. And I got the Saints and I got the Seahawks rounding out the playoffs. Now, again, as far as the playoffs go, I'm not predicting that yet. It's too early to even predict who's going to go where, as far as who's going to beat who. That'll be closer to the season. But every week I'm going to have different predictions and this different stuff every week as far as baseball standings. Maybe not even any sports, maybe just little sports, and maybe even some just a rant of what I've seen going through today. Now, bonus material, I have some NBA news. Bradley Beal got traded to the Suns. If any NBA fans out there, he did that. But as far as any other NBA news, there's no other NBA news as of right now, except congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. If you're a Denver Nugget fan, congratulations on your first NBA title. That's it for the NBA news, for the football talk, and for the baseball talk. But as far as this episode, again, I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day out there. Plus, happy Juneteenth to everybody also. This will be it for my first episode here in Big Mama's house. But again, it'll be weekly. I'll have more information each week about different things, different topics. I'm going to probably throw in some politics in there also, because we all know how I like to talk politics. But again, have a good day, and remember to use your turn signals. Thank you. Bye-bye.